I cut it again. Everybody big up themselves. Don't know. Fury. Keep the sure that this one come on. Don't know the thing said. Alright, so I want to big up Jackson. She sent me some of them questions here and thing. Alright, so we're going to look on the gradient of a line. First of all, I'm going to give some people some time to join it if they're interested. You know the ships go already. Everyone wants to learn, but those who want to learn, they will learn. Our thing is normal. Not a hype thing, but it's not a normal thing. Right? We just have to do the work, you know. Alright, so first we look at the gradient. So say we are given the points. Point A is 1, 4. Point B is 3, 6. And we are asked to find the gradient. Now, on any point on the line, the gradient is the same. So normally we take the endpoints, but we don't necessarily have to take the endpoints. It's just that sometimes it's more convenient. I'm going to use the formula way. If you don't know how to do it the algebra way, the graphical way, I already done something on that. So this one I'm focusing on more like algebra, like with the formula. Now the gradient of a line is the slope. So the gradient is the slope. Like how slant the line be. Slantness. That's it have to do it. Alright. In any straight line graph, y equal mx plus c, m represent, let me just get the red marker. Or the blue one. You kind of identify. M, right here. That would be the gradient. And the gradient tells us how slant the line is. So say we have y is equal to 2x plus 1, then the gradient or the slope of the line will be equal to 2. Alright, so we're going to be focusing on when we are given 2 points and we are asked to find the gradient or the slope of the line. As usual, go ahead and try it. You know the steps already, alright? Always try. Very important. Alexandra, big up yourself. So let us look at the gradient. Before we find the gradient, let us just look at the formula. Let's examine the formula. So basically, this would be a point A and a point of two things. It have a x and a y. So we can call this x1 and y1, right? And for B, this would be x2, y2. And guys, it does not matter which one of them you name, x1 and y1. If we wanted, we could have named this x1 and y1. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do it both ways just to prove to you that it doesn't matter which way you do it. Look, take out, no, stop with the control now. The control. Yeah. Hold on the control to me. But Sanjay, the red something shine on something. No, no, no. So hold the control. Alright. So the gradient so it's the change in y over the change in x. So that's the gradient. Or you can say rise over run. That's what my teacher taught me. But it's the change in y over the change in x. So let us just put these in perspective. So y2 would be 6, so it's 6 minus y1 would be 4, and x2 would be 3 minus x1, which is 1. So 6 minus 4 is 2, and 3 from 3 take away 1 would leave 2. So the gradient, I'm keep writing y, m would be equal to 1. So that would be our answer. The gradient would be 1. Now I want you guys to try this one. For me, you're going to find the gradient given these 2 points. Call it C and point D. Alright, so you guys go ahead and find the gradient. We're gonna compare answers. You guys can leave it in the chat. I can't see it now, I don't have 1,000, but I will see it when I'm watching back the video. So go ahead and try that one. You are supposed to find the gradient or the slope of the line. Alright, let's go and see, compare answers. So as you said, it doesn't matter which one you name x1. We're going to name this one x2 this time, and this one x1, y1. You only have to be consistent with the number. If it's x2, then y2, x1, y1. Alright? So let us say m is equal to y2 minus y1, which is the rise, x2 minus x1, which is the run. So x2 would be 2 minus 8, and x1 is 3 minus 5. So this will give us negative 6 over negative 2. So the gradient would be positive 3. So that will be our answer. Alright. So go ahead again, guys. We're on a live. Try it again. Try this one now. With maths, you have to try. It's the only way you're gonna improve. Watching, like Netflix, it don't work. You have to try. And these come in the multiple choice also. So with the CD, so with the E now, put a negative in there. Because I don't want him to get too comfortable now and think say it's only positive. So E and F. Find the gradient of that line. Gradient of EF. Go ahead guys. Try. Don't be afraid to try. Don't be afraid to try guys. I'm here to help you. I'm not your enemy. I am just here to help you. It's not about money for me. It's about helping students to improve. Every year, 70,000 students in Jamaica fail maths. Now tell me if that's not crazy. That is crazy. You have to do something about that. And thanks to all the persons who are supporting me quietly, telling other people about me, and everybody, I just appreciate everyone. You have some people do it openly, that's fine also. I appreciate all of you guys, all of you. Not just one or two, all of you. Every subscriber. You have subscribers who watch even though they are not doing maths. Trust me. Respect you, all of you guys. And I appreciate all of you. I'm not going to come on every day and say it, but I do appreciate you guys a lot. And I'm very grateful for the support. I'm a vice principal. I watched the video yesterday and I watch back. Tell me now. One of the most busiest person. Find the time to watch my video. Them something that encourage me. Nah, like them thing that encourage me and push me to do more. Alright. So let's go to the solution now. And if you are joining later, still attempt the question. Pause it and alright. So I'm going to call this one x2, y2, and this one x1, y1. So m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y2 is negative 9, so it's negative 9 minus, remember guys, there's a minus here, so also in the formula too. I know you guys like to mess up the sign thing. I have a video on that especially. Alright, so now it's x2 which is 8 minus and minus 2 now. See it? So I'm going to put emphasis on it. Alright, so now 2 negatives is going to give us a positive. When you multiply, it's a positive. So this is going to become a plus. This is going to become a plus. So it would be, if you write it, it's negative 9 plus 5 upon 8 plus 2. So this would give us negative 4. Again, if you have struggled with the sign, I have videos on that. The entire syllabus is on it, so we divide by 2. So the gradient is negative 2 over 5. And that will be our answer. Alright guys. Alright. So we're gonna do one more. So far we're gone 15 minutes. We're gonna do one more. And then we look at another aspect of it. Alright? So remember, the gradient of a line is the slope, or how slant the line is. And it's a rise over run. That's how my teacher would say to us. It's a rise over run. And through research, I discovered that it's the change in y divided by the change in x. Alright, so one more point again. We'll put a 0 in here now, just to make it interesting. Find the gradient of that line, guys. Find the gradient of that line. $30 head start I'm giving you. Everyone joining, whether an hour or later, thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Alright guys, I really appreciate it. Don't stop now, don't stop, let's go. So, I'm giving you guys 30 minutes ahead. Alright, so let's go now. We should go ahead now. We should be able to complete that. Remember guys, CSEC is done on a timely basis. You do not have the entire day. You do not have the entire day to do the questions. Next, we're going to look at finding the equation of a line. So we're going to look at finding the equation of a line next. Alright, so 20 minutes out of this. Alright, so we know that the gradient is y equal mx plus c. It's the slope, and m is defined as y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. And we label them x1, y1. If this is x1, this has to be y1. You can have x1 here so and put y2 here so. You see that error already, you know. From here me start talk pattern. You know so I stress. Me no want to do that in an exam. Don't write x1 and y2. x1 and y1. Alright? x2 and y2 go together. Alright? See it? So now we're gonna put in what we know. So y2 would be negative 6 minus y1, which is 0 in this case. And then now x2 would be negative 3 minus 1. And then we do the maths. So negative 6 minus 0, that is the same thing as negative 6. Where 0 I go. So we have negative 3 plus 1. We just rewrite this because I want you guys to see this step. So negative 3 plus 1 is equal to negative 2. And then we can, so we get 3. So the gradient, or m, is equal to 3. So we're going to look at finding the equation of a line given 2 points. So let me just clear the board and we can begin now. So finding, big up St. Mary's College for the marker here, the equation of a line given 2 points. Big up my HOD, Mrs. Evans, whole St. Mary's College family, big up yourself. Big up Lucia Mar. Check out him game channel. V Gamer. Future. Yeah. Future C-bar athlete. Look out for him. Prep student. Big up Sanjay Bennett, my son. Don't know the thing said. Child's Day or whatever. Children's Day. Something like that. Yeah. Anyway. So now we're gonna find the equation given these 2 points. So let me just go ahead. So this is example 1. And if you just join. So this is A, B, and we are going to find the equation of that line. Cherry Carbers, pick up yourself. Yeah, I appreciate these questions. Sometimes I don't really do worksheets same time because I don't want to be doing assignments for students. So I just do similar things, but I don't do the actual sheet that I got. If you understand what I mean. Yeah. We are teaching, you know, we know the things say. People lazy. Say what? So Bennett I do it when I'm trying to make him do them the free. No. You're not gonna learn so. Alright. So we're gonna find the equation. So the first thing we do is what we have been doing so far. So remember, it's in this form. Y is equal to mx plus c. So we're gonna discuss a bit. We're gonna discuss a bit about these things. So what does the C represent? The C represents where it cuts the y-axis or the y-intercept. See, so you're gonna answer this question. So C represents the y-intercept. So if you have the graph, and we know that these are the x-axis, right? The teacher should tell you that already. And say the graph comes up. This point right here is known as the y-intercept because this is where it meets the y-axis. Alright? And then we have the gradient, which is that we just do a while ago. So we have the gradient, right? And then you have the x and the y values. These are the coordinates, x and y. So you see, it's not hard. You have a vivid picture of what's happening. Alright, so let's go. So the first thing, let me tell this step by step. First thing we need to do, we need to find the gradient, right? Which is m. And when we find m, we find c. And I'm going to take you through the step very slowly. Very slow motion, sir, alright? No rush nothing, you know. Big up the government to give you the tablet them. Now use up my own them. Benefit, not just Jamaica. The world. A channel I got growing up people, I don't believe in me still, I believe in myself. Well, some people believe in me. I go grow, man. I go international. Global. Alright. So, we're going to find the gradient first. So, I just put them in points because for the girls, I know girls like to make points. We find the gradient. Next thing, we find the y-intercept. Alright, so let's go. We know if we find gradient already. So m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I spent 20 minutes doing that. But even if I never did it before, you should know. It says 10 minus 4, 6 minus 2. So that's 6 over 4. And we're going to leave it as 3 over 2. Alright, so we know that in this equation y equals mx plus c, we know that this is 3 over 2. So it's 3 over 2x plus c. Alright, so we have two unknown. We have y right here, so we have x here, so right? Sorry, it says never one whole number. Alright, I'm going to do a next one with the gradient on a whole number afterwards. I don't want to get people confused with the fraction. But you shouldn't get confused once you're part of this thing. I show you guys how to do that already. So y equal 3 over 2x plus c. So we're going to take any one of these points. Any one. If you want to use 2 and 4, or you want to use 6 and 10. We're going to use them, and we're going to use, because this represents the x, and this represents the y. So you see, we're going to end up with one unknown, which is the c. And that we are fine. So me as a rasta. Yeah. Alright. So let's go, guys. Let's go. Don't know. Come right back to form. Right back what we get. Y equal 3 over 2. Alright, tell you what. But I'm just gonna put 1.5 just so people don't get confused. I have some people them never see it before, you know. 1.5x plus c. So we're gonna use the point 2, 4, alright? So I'm gonna just put 2, 4. So x is equal to 2 and y equal 4. And we have put that in the equation. That's not hard. Y are what? 4. So we drop 4 here. So 1.5 times x, which is 2 plus c. People. Make sure the middle me say no. All we did was put in the values of x and the value of x and the value of y, because it's singular. We pass English, you know, yeah. So x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 4. And then we're going to solve for c. How many times on my channel we made linear equation? Many times. And everybody's supposed to can solve this. So let's go now. So 2 times 1.5 would be 3 plus c is equal to 4. So therefore, 3 plus what give you 4? 3 plus what give you 4? Is that the same thing as that, right? So we subtract 3 from here. So we have to show working. See, it's like failing, you know. So you have to show working. So 4 minus 3 is 1. So the y-intercept is 1. But we're not done. What did they ask us for? They asked us for the equation of the line. So we have to give them the equation of the line. We're going to put in the values that we get, which is the gradient and the y-intercept. So let us put back the gradient. The gradient was what? 3 over 2. Alright, so write back the formula. Y equal mx plus c. So therefore y is equal to, what's the gradient? 3 over 2 x plus the y-intercept. Voila. Them can't feel that area. No. Them can't feel that area. Them can't feel that area. See there, guys, I hate that, you know. We're gonna look at another one, but you guys gonna go ahead of me with this one. Alright? Once you're a part of the live, go ahead. If you're just joining, there's something there. So pause the video. And a normal thing, you know, guys. And a normal things. And there, you know, guys. So if you hear my neighbor, I live near a bar. So what if people that talk, I can go tell them to fish shut up. Alright. Still I try my best for help out, you know. Enough people not gonna appreciate it until after. Still big them up same way. Alright, this time I'm trying to make the gradient be a whole number so you guys can see it. Every teacher should teach in the simplest possible way, not the hardest way. So I'm gonna make the gradient. Alright, so make the gradient be a whole number and then we can discuss. So this is D and this is E. Alright, so we're going to find the equation of the line. So it's m is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Alright, so y2, I'm going to go over this with the 20 minutes side. 5 minus 3 upon 1 minus 2. Right? I'm just x1, y1, x2, y2. Some people need to see, right? So this is y2 minus 3. So we get 2. And this is 1. So this is minus 1. So the gradient is negative 1. So m is equal to negative 1. So now that we get the gradient, we're going to find the y-intercept. Finding the y-intercept. Finding the y-intercept. And remember, the y-intercept is where it cuts the y-axis. See, so we'll ask you that. What is the y-intercept? Where it cut the y-axis? That's the y-intercept. Alright, just like when you say police intercept the boy them. Go shoot the man. Yeah. Same so. Alright, so watch you now. So we're gonna take the point 2, 3. X is 2 and y is 3. Alright. So we have this formula, y equals mx plus c. So what's y here? 3. So we just put in what we know. We get the gradient, negative 1. What is x? 2. Them can't talk to you this year? Them can't hold you this year? No. Alright, so 3. This would give us negative 1 times 2. Remember, bracket means to multiply, so we have negative 2 plus c. And then this now, remember, we're going to get rid of this negative 2. I did equations 100 times, but just in case you missed it, say you're just a subscriber. We add 2 to this, so we do the same for the next side. So it's 3. This will add 2 to that side, so we have to add 2. Use the same marker. So when you see it now, yo, nothing can miss with this here, you know. Once you know part of this, right? So see, 3 plus 2 is 5. So the y-intercept is 5. So let us put in what we know. We know that it's in the form mx plus c. We know the gradient to be negative 1. I will find it for ourselves. So that's negative 1. Let's put the 1. You know, and then x, so it's negative 1x plus the gradient, the intercept, which is 5, so it's 5. We can rewrite this as negative x plus 5. And that will be our answer. Alright guys, remember now, I need to get to 1,000, so you guys, that is your job to help me. Help me if I help you. Alright guys, soon prime time news. Alright, now we're going to look at finding the midpoint of a line. Finding the midpoint of a line. Well, I should take the right way. The coordinate of the midpoint of a line. I will know maths, you know. We spend hours I practice maths, you know. And because I'm a teacher, we spend hours I practice maths. I learn new maths every day. As I say, it thing I go global. And a normal thing this way I do. So we're gonna the midpoint of a line, point of a line. And a chicken we are jerk, you know. Alright, so let's say we are given these points. Alright, so this is the formula now. It's the midway between the x, so it's x1, y1, we established that already, you know. x2, y2. So it's the midpoint of the x, right? So it's x1 plus x2, and we divide it by 2. Put a little comma here, so show C6, you depend on Mr. Bennett channel, and you know if you do it. I will divide by 2. That's all. What is the fuss about, students? Tell me now. What is the fuss about? It's coming at the final equation of the line coming at add maths to you know. So Big up on yourself, maths people. Don't know, and a normal thing. Alright. So now we're gonna put things in perspective. We have the x1 plus x2 divided by 2 and y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So let's put in the numbers over out. So x1 is 3, so we put 3 plus similarly chicken plus this, so this is 5 divided by 2, put the comma. Y1 is 5 plus 12, and we divide by 2. So 3 plus that is 8 divided by 2, and 5 plus that is 17 divided by 2. So 8 divided by 2 is 4, 2, 8, 16. So this is 8 and a half, or 8.5. So that will be the coordinate. So at this point on the line, at the middle, split both of them in equal part. So I want you guys to find the midpoint. Leave this in the comment section. P and Q. You're going to find the midpoint of PQ. Go ahead and find that. Leave that in the comment section. Remember, I can't see it now, but when I'm watching it, I watch back all of my videos, alright? So when I'm watching, I will see it. Especially if it's on my laptop. Big up everybody. Learning is a must. Alright guys, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that now guys. Alright. By now you guys should have finished. So it's a midpoint of PQ. So we know that it's x1 plus x2 divided by 2 because it's halfway. Put a comma. Y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So x1 is what? 1. So it's 1 plus 9 divided by 2. And 3 plus negative 11 divided by 2. So 1 plus 9 is 10. And then 3 plus that will be negative 8. So this is 5 and negative 4. And remember, this is at the point, this exact point. Split it in 2 equal halves. Alright? So we're going to look at the length of a line. We're going to look at the length of a line. And then we can discuss. I will left that for your next video. Alright, so we're going to look on the length of a line. Alright, so we look at the length of a line. And this is the formula. So we are looking at the length of a line, and it goes like this. And it comes from the Pythagoras theorem. So that's how we find the length of a line. This should be y1, sorry. So say we are given these 2 points. We're going to end the live soon. And you're asked to find the length of that line. So this alone can give you the length of the line, the gradient of the line, and the equation of the line. Y-intercept. Everything can come from this. Simple 2 points. So we just put in x1, y1, x2, y2. So y2 is 6, so it's 6 minus y1 is 5, square it. As I said, this comes from the Pythagoras. x2 is 3, put it in a bracket just to, mix up 1 square. So 6 minus 5 is 1, so 1 square. 3 minus that is 2, so it's 2 square. So it will be 1, 2 square is 4, square root of 5. Or you can punch up in your calculator and find. Makes sense. These 2 points are pretty close to each other. So you expect the length of the line supposed to be reasonably small. 2 points up. Alright. So let us find this. I want you to go ahead with this one. Try. We're gonna end the live soon, but thanks everyone for joining. Thank you for making it to this far. Alright, so say we are given P. This time I'm going to make them far apart. I'm going to put some negative. Sorry. I'm going to put some negatives in here. So we're going to find the length of this line. Again, we name it x1, y1, x2, y2. Go ahead and try that. After 1 minute, I'm going to go ahead and do the solution. But I want you guys to try for yourselves. It's prime time news time. So go ahead and try. Alright, you should complete it by now. So it's the length. So it's y2 minus y1 square plus x2 minus x1 square. And then you find the square root. Alright, so y2 is negative 8 minus y1, which is 2 squared plus x. Ah, Jesus, let's say 6 for there. So 6 minus 2, yeah. And then now, x2 is negative 8 minus 1 squared. Remember, minus is a part of the formula, so you always have to have minus, right? So you have the minus and then minus 1. So this is going to give us negative 8 squared. Negative that, this is going to become plus, so this gives us negative 7 squared. 88, 64. So the positive come in, and you can find the square root of a negative number. and 7, 7, 49. So just match up this. 9 and 4 is 13, 3 carry 1, 6 and 4, 10, and 1, 11. Square root of 111, that give you 10 points on. 10, 10 and 100, right? 11, 11, 121. So it's between 10 points something and that. I want to thank everyone for joining. Big up on yourself. Leave this under the comment section. I want you guys to find the length, if you learn from it, the midpoint. I'm going to grade this same question in my class. The length, the midpoint, the gradient. What else? The equation of the line. For these points. So it's negative 3, 6. I'll call this A. And then 5, 10. So do that for all of that, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. For the persons who tune in, I know it's news time now. And I'll see you guys in another live. Big up on yourself.